To discuss the developments in Arunachal Pradesh from legal and political perspectives, we are joined in the studio by Jayanta Ghoshal, senior journalist, and Rakesh Bhatnagar, senior journalist. I welcome you both to Newsnight. I'll begin with the legal perspective, so I'll begin with you, Mr. Bhatnagar. Under Article 174 of the Constitution, it is required that a session of an assembly be held within 6 months of the last session. But in this case in Arunachal Pradesh, more than 6 months have passed since the last session was convened. Does this mean that there is simply no constitutional basis of what the Nabam Tuki government, which was earlier there in Arunachal Pradesh, has been claiming?
You see, in this case, what the government has said, and the governor told the union government, was that there is breakdown of machinery. If the session was not called, governor is well within means to call a special session. So, breakdown of machinery is one thing on the basis of which the president rule
which
has
is
been
what the
imposed.
governor did. The government the governor had written to the then government of Arunachal Pradesh saying that a session be advanced by 1 month and that it be called on the 16th of December.
Yes.
However, the assembly premises were locked.
And you know, second thing was that the meeting took place in a hotel. So the normal test of a, you can test the strength.
But how could the strength have been tested, Mr. Bhatnagar, when the premises were locked?
Premises were locked, premises can be opened because that is the job of the Secretary General of that.
Okay, so as far as I know,
that is totally
the
administrative.
Speaker had given orders, and I'm sure you'll bear me out on that, Mr. Ghoshal. The Speaker had given orders to the staff to not even let legislators enter. This is the kind of report that the governor has sent to the centre, on the basis of which the Union Cabinet took a decision, which was later forwarded to the President for his approval. Do you agree?
Exactly, I agree. And I think there are a series of questions because, about the disqualifications also. 60 MLAs and 21 MLAs were rebel, but Speaker and they took the decision only for perhaps 16.
16, yeah, around 14 in fact. 14 were disqualified,
14.
yes. 14
so
Congress MLAs
these
were
are
disqualified.
the issues. Now 356 nobody wants in a natural situation. But number one, politically, I'm saying, I'm not going to the legal details. Politically, Arunachal is a border state, and in past also, irrespective of party line, whether it's a BJP rule government or the Congress rule government in Delhi, I don't bother. But this destabilization in that, political destabilization in that area, how it creates horse trading, the money laundering,
but do you see any...
these are, I have seen.
Do you think that the charge that has been levelled by the Congress against the centre has any water in it? Because the fact is that there was rebellion within the Congress camp, and it all started from there. The Congress house was not in order. There were many Congress legislators who did not want Nabam Tuki to continue as the Chief Minister.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the problem of Congress, internal problem of Congress. And if BJP wants to form the government with the manipulation of the MLAs, that allegation Congress can raise. But if you go for 356, that means actually you are trying to stop the horse trading also, because in Northeast, not only Arunachal Pradesh, in several states, on several occasions I have seen that this permutation combinations, because the mainstream Congress BJP politics is not very relevant in those areas.
Absolutely. So you are saying that the very fact that Article 356 has been invoked and President's rule has been imposed means that horse trading is not being allowed, and we know that the rebels...
One more I want to just add, that our president is also popularly known as a very prudent president. He also took time and he called a home minister, and they narrated. So after that, he has signed the file of 356.
Which is what the Bomai judgment of 1994 says.
Absolutely. Everything has to be tested, 356 is that is a power under 356 is not absolute power. It is open for judicial review.
It is a conditioned power.
Yes, conditioned at that. So it has to be tested.
Absolutely, it has to be tested, but it says in the very beginning, the Bomai judgment says that it is important for the president to look at all the material on
Yes.
record and base his judgment on the
Yes.
basis of that material.
Yes.
In this case, we know that Home Minister had
Yes.
met the president day before yesterday,
Yeah.
and after that the president had taken this
President
decision.
has taken precaution because president knows what happened to in Bihar Assembly dissolution case when the president was away from India, and he signed that he gave the assent.
So he has to be satisfied at the end of
He
the
has
day.
himself satisfied on that.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ghoshal, does the Congress party have the moral right to question the centre at this stage? Because look at what's happened in the past. Look at the past of the Congress party. In 2005, when Bhuta Singh was the governor of Bihar, then the centre, we know that the UPA government was in power at the centre, then had accepted the recommendation of Bhuta Singh to dissolve the assembly, and the assembly was dissolved, which was a decision which the Supreme Court has slammed as unconstitutional.
Exactly, this is the baggage of history Congress has. But I don't want to go to the tutu mame of Congress BJP on this issue. You know why? Because it's a very sensitive state, and I think that we should expect that the prudence of Supreme Court on Monday hearing, I don't know what will happen, but actually, you know, the role of Speaker, what you have also mentioned, that last 6 months there was no assembly session, it was under lock and key. So what will be, if you want to overrule the decision of 356, then will there be any stricture against Speaker for the non-performance of the
and
assembly
can there
session?
be disqualification of MPs or MLAs by the Speaker outside the assembly session, even before the assembly session is
Can a meeting
convened?
take place in a hotel instead of assembly? These are the issues.
Absolutely.
Actually, I think Supreme Court, what Supreme Court has said, that after seeing the report of the governor, that what he has done, why he has done, it's not the issue of Congress BJP. Kapil Sibal may raise some issues that can be very important, that can be very relevant, but Supreme Court will take the final decision.
Absolutely.
But I think it should not be seen in a political prism. Now it's Arunachal Pradesh, and there should not be any.
You see, so far
Absolutely.
356 has always been a political decision. You know,
Yeah.
whosoever is in power at the center, that allegation will have to be there that it is politically motivated to destabilize the opposition government.
But prima facie, does it seem to you that this stands legal scrutiny and the scrutiny of the
It
Constitution
requires-
as well?
And not only this, whatever has been held in Bombay judgment and Bihar judgment, much more has to be decided on the supremacy of the Speaker as such and the House. If a decision is taken that I don't want to conduct the House, who can direct the Speaker to conduct the House? To order for a session.
And we also
So
know,
far, nothing has come on this. You know.
absolutely, Mr. Bhatnagar, we also know that in the report that the governor had sent to the centre recommending President's rule in Arunachal Pradesh, he had cited instances of breakdown of law and order and what he called breakdown of the constitutional machinery. He said that the governor's house was ghiraud, access to the governor's house was not allowed. He himself, he said, was ghiraud. So he said that such is the situation where the governor has been humiliated in public. These are his words in the report.
Bihar judgment also said the first and foremost step which the government should take is to warn the government, state government. So the question is whether the center has warned this state government. Okay, this is you are doing, rectify it, or
Because these are the issues that the Supreme Court will go
Will
into.
have to go.
But in the report, the governor has also said that there were several times that he had asked certain questions with regard to the administration of the then state government led by Nawam Tuki, but he never got any answers to it.
The financial
And under
issues
the
also.
Constitution,
Financial issues
the state
also.
government
The budget is coming.
The state government is mandated to answer all the questions asked by the governor which are relating to legislative proposals or the
yes.
administration.
Yeah.
So does that also stand foul
you see
of the
the first
Constitution?
Yeah, exactly. I think what you are saying, these issues now, in this present scenario, it is not desirable, but 356 is the Brahmastra, and government.
even Ambedkar had said there should be a dead letter.
If you don't use it now, then whatever issues you are raising, these questions, who will give the reply? I think for temporary, 356 cannot be a permanent solution. So it can be a temporary
suspended
measures,
animation is there.
and after that again the majority of the house can be taken care of.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ghoshal, even if there is a floor strength right now, if there is, if the majority of Nawam Tuki is now tested, though that can't be the situation now because there's no government there, there's President's rule and the Assembly is in suspended animation, do they have the numbers to prove majority majority?
They don't have the number to prove the majority today. But the House has not been dissolved. It's cyanidine
It's in suspended
adjourned.
animation, and
So there is a difference with that Mumbai case actually. What that time it was dissolved. But if you want to prove the majority, then the role of speaker, then why it was under lock and key, then the mismanagement, financial irregularities, all those issues will come. And so it will be very difficult to overcome, to clear all those issues. I think so temporary weapon is 356, and after that the political consensus also can be evolved in a democracy, and you can talk. And I think now Supreme Court will take the final judgment on Monday. We cannot predict the Supreme Court.
Now Supreme Court itself is fully armed with so many judgments, you know, anti-defection law, then you have Mumbai judgment, then you have this Bihar judgment. These are three important judgments. And most important thing is on the decision which the Supreme Court is going to take on 1st of February.
when the next hearing is.
When the next hearing is.
All
That
eyes
is
will
a
be on
crucial
that.
date. Rest of the thing is that they will take a longer decision, longer hearing. Constitution bench will sit, maybe 9 judges or 11 judges, you know.
Absolutely.
That has to be seen
All
and
right.
retested again.
All right, that's all the time that we have for this discussion. Thank you, Mr. Ghoshal and Mr. Bhatnagar,
Thank
for
you
having
very
joined
much.
us on News Night tonight.